Hello and welcome to YNWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this.
Antoine Semenyo agreement reached as pundits on same page about potential Liverpool transfer, amid transfer links with Bournemouth forward Antoine Semenyo. Liverpool has been told that the 25-year-old would be a perfect signing in. 22-6. Mohamed Salah has been struggling for form in the opening weeks of the new season, though he only has one fewer goal and the same number of assists in all competitions as Semenyo, and Liverpool will, at some point, reluctantly face up to the need to replace the Egyptian. Semenyo, who can play on both flanks, has been put forward as one option to do just that. It is thought that he has a release clause worth $85 million, £65 million that will come into effect in the new year. I don't think there is anyone in the football world who doesn't want this guy. Former Liverpool star Steve Nichols said on ESPN, "I'll have him today and twice on Sunday. They need somebody. If it's Semenyo, then fantastic because the guy is absolutely dynamite. If it's not him, then, for Liverpool, it's going to have to be somebody else. If Liverpool want to win the title, then in the January window, they are going to have to make a move. I would be so delighted." Ex-Chelsea centre-back Frank Leboeuf added, "Every game I saw him playing, he has been absolutely tremendous and has had a great impact. The power he is showing and the finesse is amazing. His involvement to the team is huge. We have seen that at Bournemouth, and I'm sure we will see that at any club he's going to sign. He is strong, powerful, quick and technical. That would be a huge signing." Antoine has been amazing this season. Bournemouth managing director Thiago Pinto told YNWA last month, "I think he's a lovely player, a lovely boy. For us, it was amazing to feel that he would be happy to stay one more season, even if other clubs were around him. I think he scored 8 or 9 goals this season, so we couldn't be more happy." Arne Slot confirms huge double Liverpool injury blow, but Alisson Becker set to return. Alisson Becker will be back in goal for Liverpool this weekend as the Reds take on Nottingham Forest, with the Brazilian set to make his first appearance in almost 2 months. However, Florian Wirtz and Conor Bradley are both set to miss out with muscle injuries sustained during the international break. Arne Slot has confirmed that both players will be out for the weekend. Bradley could miss around 3 weeks, while Wirtz shouldn't be as long. Goalkeeper Alisson has been sidelined since September 30th when he limped off against Galatasaray in the Champions League. Georgi Mamardashvili, who arrived from Valencia in the summer, has been deputizing. Elsewhere, another summer signing, Jeremy Frimpong, is still absent as he recovers from a muscle issue. 18-year-old Giovanni Leoni is a long-term absentee with the ACL injury he picked up against Southampton in the League Cup earlier this season. "Andy Robertson will be with us today," Slot said. "Alisson trained last week and this week, so he will be able to play if things work out today. But we do have some issues after the international break. Conor Bradley is unable to play, Florian Wirtz unable to play. That is far from ideal." Alexander Isak, meanwhile, is still working his way back up to full fitness after a setback. Arriving on deadline day, Liverpool is yet to see the best of the Swede. Isak played half an hour for his country during the international break but was not risked in the second fixture in case he picked up a booking, which would have earned him a suspension for the first leg of March's World Cup play. Off's not fit again, though Isak is expected to be on the bench for the weekend's visit of Nottingham Forest. He could feature in matches this week against the Tricky Trees, PSV and West Ham United. There will be more to follow on this breaking news story, and YNWA Transfer News will bring you the very latest updates, pictures and video as soon as possible. Arne Slot reveals double Liverpool injury blow. Arne Slot has provided his latest injury update on Alisson and Alexander Isak ahead of Nottingham Forest on Saturday. The Brazilian shot stopper has been sidelined since sustaining a hamstring injury during the 1-0 defeat to Galatasaray on September 30th, missing 8 matches in which Liverpool have struggled significantly, losing 5. Alisson's return can't come at a better time for Liverpool, who sit 8th in the Premier League table, 8 points behind leaders Arsenal. Meanwhile, Alexander Isak's fitness situation has generated considerable attention after a stop-start beginning to his Liverpool career. The £125 million British record signing has been hampered by injury problems since his summer arrival from Newcastle, having missed the bulk of preseason. Due to the protracted nature of his transfer, Isak has been absent from Liverpool's last 4 matches after suffering a groin injury in late October. Graham Potter opted to rest the Reds 9 against Slovenia on Tuesday night. But now speaking in his pre-Nottingham Forest press conference, Arne Slot has revealed that both Conor Bradley and Florian Wirtz can't play on Saturday. Robertson will be with us today. Alisson trained last week and this week, so he will be able to play if things work out today. We do have some issues after the international break. Conor Bradley is unable to play, Florian Wirtz unable to play. That is far from ideal. Both are muscle issues. Florian maybe should not be that long. However, Bradley could be out for as long as a month. I don't expect Conor to be part of the upcoming 22 days. Maybe the end unless a miracle happens. Jeremy is out just as long. Won't be available in the next few weeks. Joe Gomez has played to times 90 minutes in 2025. So if we want to keep him available longer, it's maybe a risk to play him 7 times in 22 days. He missed training yesterday, but we are expecting him to train today. Maybe 1 or 2 players have to play in positions they normally won't do. Ex-Liverpool star suffers nightmare injury and is ruled out for rest of season. Former Liverpool attacking midfielder Fabio Carvalho is set to miss the remainder of the season with an ACL injury after he suffered a devastating setback. Carvalho, 23, has been seen by a specialist and will now prepare for upcoming surgery, having already started his rehabilitation at Brentford. The West London side confirmed in a statement. Carvalho moved to Brentford from Liverpool in August 2024. He has made 33 appearances for the club in all competitions and has played 9 times for Keith Andrews this term, scoring 3 goals, including a late equalizer against Chelsea. Carvalho is the second Brentford player to sustain an ACL injury this season after Antoine Semenyo's campaign was cut short in October. Liverpool lost its young centre-back, Giovanni Leoni, to the same injury when he went off against Southampton in the League Cup. He too will miss the remainder of the campaign as he recovers. Carvalho has struggled for game time so far this season at Brentford in the Premier League. He has mainly featured in the Cup or been sent on from the bench due to the performances of Mikkel Damsgaard. That has led to speculation that he could leave in January in search of more minutes. That plan, however, will need to be delayed until he returns to action. Sunderland and Leeds United had both been put forward as potential destinations for Carvalho in the winter window, but they will now have to look elsewhere. Carvalho will be focusing on the rehabilitation process for the time being, although he will have to reassess his Brentford future when he returns from injury after his move in 2024. The former Portugal youth international still has 4 years left to run on the long-term contract he signed following his Liverpool exit next summer. Once he comes back from this blow, Carvalho might still be best served moving on. Brentford agreed to a deal worth up to around $35 million, £27 million for him, including add-ons, but it hasn't worked out so far. Liverpool hit by huge double injury blow amid Alisson Becker fitness boost. Liverpool boss Arne Slot has ruled both Florian Wirtz and Conor Bradley out of Liverpool's Premier League clash with Nottingham Forest on Saturday. However, Alisson Becker is fit to return. Brazilian goalkeeper Alisson has been absent since sustaining a hamstring injury in the Reds' 1-0 defeat at Galatasaray on September 30th, missing 8 matches as a result, but he will return to the side to take on Forest. Discussing the latest injury news before the game, Slot said, "Alisson trained last week and this week, so he will be able to play if things work out today. But we do have some issues after the international break. Conor Bradley is unable to play, Florian Wirtz unable to play. That is far from ideal. The injury to Bradley leaves Slot without a recognized right back, and the Liverpool head coach expects to be without both the Northern Irishman and the currently absent Jeremy Frimpong for at least 3 weeks." Elaborating on the injuries, Slot said, "Both muscle issues. I don't expect Conor to be part of the upcoming 22 days, maybe the end unless a miracle happens. Florian maybe should not be that long. Jeremy is out just as long, won't be available in the next few weeks. Dominic Szoboszlai could potentially be utilized at right back in Bradley and Frimpong's absences, with Joe Gomez another option. Although Slot admitted he may have to use players out of position, Dominic is playing very well in all positions," he said. "Joe Gomez has played to times 90 minutes in 2025, so if we want to keep him available longer, it's maybe a risk to play him 7 times in 22 days. He missed training yesterday, but we are expecting him to train today. Maybe one or two players have to play in positions they normally won't do. Liverpool have held positive talks over major £60 million January signing. Liverpool make progress in January deal for forward. Not many expected Liverpool to be sat 8th in the Premier League table after spending £450 million to bolster a title-winning side. But here we are. And according to recent reports, Liverpool's transfer business may not be done yet as they set their sights on the January transfer window. Over recent weeks, the Reds have been tipped for potential moves for numerous defenders with names like Marc Guéhi, Nico Schlotterbeck and Joel Ordonez all being mentioned, with Giovanni Leoni suffering an ACL injury on his debut in the Carabao Cup. Ibrahima Konate in the final 7 months of his contract and Liverpool's defensive performances being an absolute disaster. Signing a defender would make a lot of sense. However, it instead appears that Arne Slot is looking to add further depth to his attacking ranks, and AFC Bournemouth forward Antoine Semenyo is top of his wish list. Liverpool's pursuit of Semenyo. Recent reports from both David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano have confirmed that Semenyo does have a release clause in his new contract at Bournemouth. The value of that clause sits at £60 up front for any potential January deal, with £5 million worth of further add-ons. Now, according to Dave Okop, Liverpool have made significant progress towards a potential deal. Why do Liverpool want Semenyo? The Bournemouth forward is in the midst of a brilliant season, with 9 goal contributions to his name already in the Premier League. Only Erling Haaland has more goal contributions so far this season, but it's not just his end product that has caught the eye. His energy and pressing ability is also a major standout, and Slot's current frontline is massively lacking in that department, capable of playing on both flanks. He could bring serious competition to Cody Gakpo on the left and also at further depth behind Mohamed Salah on the right, for £60 million. This one feels like an absolute bargain. Arne Slot drops intriguing transfer hint when asked if Liverpool will sign Marc Guéhi in January. Liverpool tried and failed to sign Marc Guéhi from Crystal Palace during the 2025 summer transfer window. Now, Guéhi is set to become a free agent at the end of June 2026 after deciding against signing a new contract at Selhurst Park. It was expected that the Reds would be among the teams battling for his signature at the close of 2025-26. However, there have been suggestions this week that Liverpool could move for Guéhi in January, which Arne Slot has now been asked about. Arne Slot hints Liverpool will target another position in January amid Marc Guéhi links. Slot held his pre-Nottingham Forest press conference on Friday morning. The first question fired at the Dutchman during the presser was about the potential addition of Guéhi or any other centre-backs. A reporter asked, "How likely are you to bring in a centre-half, whether it's Marc Guéhi or anyone else?" Slot responded by appearing to hint that Liverpool are looking to make additions in another area where there is a bit more of an issue. He said, talking about signing in the winter. "There are so many games to be played before that. And the position we are in, it's the last thing that's on my mind. Maybe not on Richards, but it's the last thing on my mind. So it's not a topic at all for me at the moment. We have at this moment in time 3 centre-backs, with Joe Gomez included of course, and maybe Ryan, who can play in that position. Maybe you are not aware of it yet, but we have other positions which is a bit more of an issue. What position could Arne Slot be talking about? Going into the winter window, the Premier League champions have primarily been linked with centre-backs, including Alessandro Bastoni. However, rumors of a move for Antoine Semenyo have ramped up over the last week or so. Liverpool fans have questioned Semenyo potentially signing ahead of a central defender, which they think should be the main priority right now. But given that Mohamed Salah will compete at the AFC in the middle of 2025-26, adding another winger to their ranks would make some sense. Liverpool struck by 2 new injuries before Forest clash as Arne Slot's problems pile up. Liverpool manager Arne Slot has confirmed that both Florian Wirtz and Conor Bradley will miss Saturday's Premier League encounter against Nottingham Forest, but Alisson Becker is available for selection once again and should start. The Brazilian shot-stopper has been sidelined since picking up a hamstring problem during the Reds' 1-0 reverse against Galatasaray on September 30th, ruling him out of 8 fixtures in total, but he is now ready to face Forest offering an update on the fitness of his squad ahead of the match. Slot revealed, "Alisson trained last week and this week, so he will be able to play if things work out today. But we do have some issues after the international break. Conor Bradley is unable to play, Florian Wirtz unable to play. That is far from ideal." Bradley's setback leaves Slot without a natural right-back option, with the Liverpool boss anticipating that both the Northern Ireland international and the currently unavailable Jeremy Frimpong will remain out for a minimum of 3 weeks, providing further details on the injuries. Slot explained, "Both muscle issues. I don't expect Conor to be part of the upcoming 22 days, maybe the end unless a miracle happens. Florian maybe should not be that long. Jeremy is out just as long. Won't be available in the next few weeks." Dominic Szoboszlai represents a potential solution at right-back during Bradley and Frimpong's absence, while Joe Gomez offers another alternative. Slot acknowledged that he may need to deploy players in unfamiliar roles. "Dominic is playing very well in all positions," he said. "Joe Gomez has played to times 90 minutes in 2025, so if we want to keep him available longer, it's maybe a risk to play him 7 times in 22 days. He missed training yesterday, but we are expecting him to train today. Maybe 1 or 2 players have to play in positions they normally won't do."
Thank you for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.